What's going on, guys? Start of a new video. I'll show you what I've been doing, and after the trunk pan, and we'll go from there. This one's kind of hard to get footage on, being I'm up in the trunk. But I'm gonna do my best to. Got one more patch panel to put in. Well, a couple more, but I'm gonna show you this one on footage. You know, this is kind of some. I wished I could video all of it. Put it that way. So I'll show you what I got going on, and then we'll talk about it. So since the trunk pan, tail pan, I've just stayed in the trunk area. Had some rust here, so I've made this panel. You know, back in the day, before people had, you know, these fancy high-tech welders, you know, they would make panels out of, you know, this piece is galvanized, look like, you know, and they'd put them on there and take self-tapper screws and screw them in. No big deal, done what you had to do. You know, back in the day, I probably would have done it the same way. But anyway, so what I done with my flat stock, I just popped this panel off. You know, it fit good. They had it fitting good, whoever had the car before me. And I kind of just traced it out and shaped it to this piece. Put it in there and, you know, haven't finished welded it. Turned out pretty good. Same for this side. This piece here. They had it capped with, well, I don't know where that piece was, but it was capped over with metal too, same way. Actually, I think it was a shorter piece. It was this piece. This is actually the trunk floor. You know, there's a little bit of rot right here, and they just had it capped over. You know, that's what they did back in the day. It's fine. It's all good. So what I done, when I pulled that cap off, you know, on this particular side, I cut out this rot section and, you know, traced it out on some new metal and fitted it in there. Not too bad. This factory roll in this trunk was decent, but it was pretty soft right here. So I've kind of, you know, pieced this together to make that factory roll. And once I weld it and, you know, grind it, shape it out, it should be in good shape. This section right here, same way, it was rusted a little bit right here. I just come back here, cut this section out beside the roll. I tried to save as much of the roll as I could. That way I had a little bit of a base structure to go off to build this roll back. Got that piece tacked in. You know, right here is where they seam sealed it, where the trunk pan meets the, you know, the inner wheel wells. Trunk pan all the way around. As you can see, there's some light through there. I've got to do some more. I just wanted to catch you up because I don't have any work footage on that piece or this piece. I've been setting right up in here, guys, and bad as I hate to say it, it's hard to film and try to show this stuff, and you know, I've just kind of got in there and got after it. But you know, that's all right. We do what we got to do every now and then. I'm catching you back up now, and I'll show you a little bit of it. So we've got a little bit of rust here too. I'm getting ready to put a patch panel in it, and I'm gonna set the camera up, you know, try to show you how I put these panels in. So I don't know if I'm gonna use this piece or not. It was sitting there, just a little scrap piece of metal I had, but you know, it covers the hole, works all right. So probably what I will do on this, guys, I'll clean this metal up, clean the burrs off of it, and then I'm probably going to line it up with this roll right here where my thumb is. That way we get a nice straight edge when we grind it out. And then basically all I'll do on this is just kind of trace it out, cut it, Put this piece of metal in, it's straight, no bends. We'll take care of that little rust hole. I'll be coming back to these as we go. I'm trying to get everything tacked in now, and then I'll finish weld it up and go from there. Same thing on these old shock towers. They've replaced some metal in there. It's just screwed in. That was a bad design, in my opinion, with these Tri-5 Chevys. Shocks go from the, the U-boat hangers up to the body on these cars, and people put air shocks on them and rough roads back in the day in the 50s and stuff like that. So it just busted these things out. Trick to these things, the way I like to do them, I'll unbolt the shock. I don't know if you guys can even see that. Let me turn this light just a little bit. I'll unbolt the shock, and where that V's down, I'll actually just cut that out, weld a flat piece of metal in, just like it's a flat trunk pan right there. And then when I get to it, I'll go under the car. I'll weld in a piece of, I like to use 1.5 or 1 3/4 DOM tubing, and I'll go from frame to frame on it. And then I'll drill a hole in it and sleeve it, weld the small tube in it the size of my boat, and then your shocks come up and mount to that bar. Once we get that far, I'll definitely show it on camera. Pretty cool trick, works good. Relieves all that pressure off the body with these shocks. And back in the day, they didn't have roads like we got. Anyway, guys, I'll set you up some laps. We'll get some of this patch panel stuff. I wished I could have got it all, but it's too hard to set up a camera. But I'm gonna get these last few sections, and I'll try to get up and set some welding footage up and all that good stuff. So I'll bring you back, guys. Till next time. All right, guys, bring you back just a second and I'll show you what, finished product before we start grinding it out. And there's something else I was going to show you just a minute ago when I was doing this video and forgot all about it, but I'll show you right now. So we've got everything welded up. It's not been touched with a grinder. I'm still going to have to do a little bit of rust repair through here. You can see the light through there, but we'll get to that. So everything's welded up. So this little panel, it's probably maximum 6 inches tall by about 4.5 wide. This panel is about 3 inches wide by, 10 inches long. Built this little piece, maybe 4 by 4 or something like that. Try to put in perspective of what I got going on here with, these 3 panels. Everything was tacked in before I started today. I don't know if you can see this. 9 o'clock my time. I started at about 4:30 welding this in. There's been limited breaks in between. I've had to make myself walk away. Reason I want to show you that is kind of put in perspective. Guys, this stuff takes a while, especially welding body panels. And like I was saying just a little bit earlier, practice is as if you was on the outside of the car, because you want your metal work as straight as you can get it, so you have less filler. As good as you can get your body work or your metal work, then your body work's going to be that much better on these cars, especially if you're doing a full-blown custom, converting one from a 4-door to a 2-door. And even on these 2-door cars, adding body panels in and doing rust repair. These cars are 60 years old. There's going to be rust on them somewhere. No matter where the car's from, they're all going to have a little bit of rust. Some's going to be worse than others. Practice as if you was on the outside of the car. Make it as straight as you can. Take your time. Definitely take your time welding, doing fabrication. When you get to body work, if you take your time with the fabrication, it's going to make the body work that much easier, that much better. Whether you want to go shiny black with the car or flat black with the car, it's going to make a better product. Hopefully this is a few tips to help, because I can't get all the footage I'm wanting to get with doing these panels in the trunk. So, that's why I wanted to kind of talk and, help out whoever it helps out. This is the way I'm doing it. This is the way I've learned, and hopefully it helps you guys. And I'll bring you back, guys. See you. Hey guys, what's going on? Next day in the garage, show you what we got going. Show you, and then I want to talk about a few things on what we got going. It's kind of hard for me to get some time lapse on what I'm doing with this part, but I do want to talk about it and kind of give you perspective on what's going on, if that makes any sense. So I'll show you first, and then we'll go back and we'll talk about it. All right, guys, here we go. So as I was showing you earlier in this video, I've been putting patch panels in, doing a little bit of rust repair, this and that. Hopefully you guys can see that pretty good. This is after the tail pan and all that good stuff. But what I want to talk about with this, I've been up in this trunk welding. I got all my panels cut and all that stuff and tacked in, and I showed you earlier in this video. Now I've been in here welding. Well, it's hard for me to get a camera set up and show you all the work footage with this part of it. But I want to talk about this welding per se, and I'm by far not a professional at welding. A few tricks of the trade that I've learned as I'm going, and even when you move to an area like trunk pan, practice this. And I'm sure there's better ways out there, but guys, I'm doing this best I can. So I'll show you what I'm talking about here. The biggest thing is do not get in a hurry, guys. With this old metal, new metal, you're going to hit some soft spots and some funky things, and it's going to go on. So don't get frustrated with it. As you're tacking down through here, tack. You may tack back and forth to keep the heat out of it, especially if you're on the outside doing a body panel. Now these trunk panels and stuff that's in here tight, it's not as big a deal. You don't want to throw a whole lot of heat on it. But as you're tacking, I know this is not the prettiest and I've not ground it out. It's the reason I wanted to show y'all. So say I start here, I make me a little puddle of weld. Stay on top of that weld as you're going down through there. Do just a little bit, then move to a different spot. Tack some more. And go through there. And then as you grind this off, you're always going to have to come back and touch some more up. Same thing with this side. Let me get the light. It's all going to be kind of ugly when you first put it in. And then you grind it out to where you want to. But the reason I say move around to keep your heat off, whether you're using, I know y'all saw me in my other videos, I've used air to keep metal cool, especially if I'm on the outside of the car. You can use air, you can use, a damp sponge to help keep your metal cool. But what your goal is with body panels, it's not like laying two heavy pieces of steel together and welding a seam per se. Body panels are so thin that if you just start welding here and weld a solid seam down through here, this thing's going to be so warped and out of proportion, it's crazy, because the metal don't have enough structure to hold as much heat as a welder puts on them. So practice as you're practicing. And even if you're not a professional welder, I'm by far not a professional welder at all. As you're putting these body panels in, tack, you may run a couple tacks, then move down here, couple tacks, move to this side, move back here. Do that for a few minutes, cool it, or if you have no way to cool it, biggest tip, walk away. Make yourself take a break from welding. Get you a drink of water, go say hi to your wife, girlfriends, whatever it may be. Walk away from it for a few minutes if you have no way to cool it. I've not been able to cool any of this I'm doing in the trunk pan. So I have to force myself to go take a break. If not, you'll get in a zone and before you know it, you've thrown way too much heat on it. I know it's a little bit of rambling. Hopefully this helps, guys. So spot weld, tacking back and forth, keep your metal cool. Practice it on every panel you do. Even in your trunk panels. You don't get a whole lot of warpage in these little short runs like what I'm doing, but practice what you're doing on the outside, on the inside. Get in the habit of doing it the same way every time. I know it's a little bit around rambling, but I wanted to show you what I got going on because it's hard for me to get some footage, but I'll bring you back on this one, guys. Stay tuned. All right, guys, what's going on? We're gonna do something a little bit different today. We talked about on live and have talked about our 1,000 subscribers, and very grateful for them. As of right now, we're up to I think 1,300. Yeah, 1,319 subscribers. Today is New Year's Eve. We're going to talk a little bit about the giveaway. We're going to do a little bit of unboxing, and I'm going to do a little bit of custom work with this and bring you along with the venture. So I don't know if you can see this in the camera, but what it is a Jegs bar stool. So what we're going to do with that, first thing we're going to have to do is put it together. Once I put it together, then we're going to, I'm going to cut it down, put wheels on it, customize it a little bit, kind of like the one I'm sitting on now. That's going to be our 1,000 subscriber giveaway. We're gonna do the cutoff tomorrow on live, which is New Year's Day, which will be New Year's evening. And we'll announce the cutoff number on live, whatever that may be. Like I said, we're at 1319 now, and you know, if it's at 1320 tomorrow at the end of live, that's going to be the cutoff. And then we'll come out with a video on Sunday, which will be the 3rd, to announce the winner. And if you're subscribed, you're entered to win. And so we'll go ahead and get started, guys. We'll unbox it, see what we got going. All right, guys, just like that, we got us a bar stool. So what we're gonna do now is I will bring you back here in a little bit, and we're gonna cut it down to potentially look like that one, put some wheels on it, and all that good stuff, and bring you back shortly, guys. See you. All right, guys. So that's what we got going so far. Hopefully you can see the footage on it. I'm gonna do a little bit more to it. A little bit more custom for LovettSpeedShop per se. And then we'll call it a wrap. I'll show you what we got so far. So we got it on wheels. I'll have to touch up a little paint on it. I think these things are about 19 inches tall. You know, pretty good. Roll around on and all that good stuff. So I'll bring it back. All right, guys, what's going on? Bring you back just real quick. Show you what we got on this 1,000 subscriber giveaway. We'll go from there. So what we got is a little jeg stool cut down, rolly wheels on it, some rockers added in there with a little bit of custom LovettSpeedShop stickers. We're going to give this thing away. You know, this is just a little bit of appreciation for everybody that subscribed and all the support for our channel and all that good stuff with this 4-door conversion we're doing. We're very grateful. Thank you for everybody that is subscribed and liked our channel and all the great comments and all that stuff. So the way we're going to do this, guys, is today's New Year's Eve. Tomorrow night we'll be going live, and at the end of live is when we're going to cut it off. So however many subscribers we've got by the end of live is how many is going in the hat. We've kind of already went over our 1,000. I think we're at 12 or 1,300 right now. So wherever that's at the end of live tomorrow night is where we're going to cut it off. Sunday I'll come back out with another little video and we'll announce the winner. So if you're subscribed, if you're not subscribed, you'll automatically be entered to win the little stool. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, and like I said, it's a token of our appreciation for our channel, and we'll go from there. Thanks for all the great comments and all the support. I bring you back, guys. Thank you. Like, subscribe, talk to me, comment, all that good stuff. See you guys.